We're going to keep it light today. We're just going to review the key components of what makes a triangle, because what we're going over tomorrow, called the Pythagorean theorem, a very prevalent part of math that you're going to see a lot over the next couple of years, is based on all of these principles. So let's start with the very basic, the most basic of basics. Can someone read this first little sentence here for me? Go ahead, Devin. Great job. Give me a thumbs up if you knew this. Good. You guys didn't know triangles had three sides? So, thumbs up. Good. Let's make sure we're listening, please. Triangles have three sides. Very simple. The longest of those sides is called the... Does anybody know? What was that? Okay. The longest of those sides is called the hypotenuse. Sounds like a Dr. Seuss character, a hypotenuse. Everybody say that out loud, hypotenuse. One more time. Hypotenuse. Okay, this is the longest side of a triangle. The other two sides, because there's three, only one side can be the longest of the three. So the other two shorter sides are called the legs. Everybody say legs. Legs. Let me ask you something. How many legs do all of you have? Two. So how many legs do all triangles have? Two.
If you have two legs.
Okay, let's simmer down. Okay. The longest side. Triangles have three sides. The longest side is the hypotenuse. The other two sides are the legs. So in the same way that we have two legs on our bodies, all triangles have two legs as well. Now, the hypotenuse can't be longer, even though it's the longest side, it can't be longer than the combined length of both legs. That's kind of a confusing sentence. So let's look at an example. This is triangle ABC. All of my angles are capital letters. Capital A, capital B, capital C. All of my side lengths are also A, B, C. But what do we notice about this A, B, and C? Are they big A, B, C or little A, B, C? They're little. They're lowercase. So side lengths are represented by lowercase letters. Angles, or the points of a triangle, are represented by uppercase letters. All right? If side A is 3, B is 4, and C is 5, which of these sides is the hypotenuse? Side C. How do you know that side C is the hypotenuse? It's the longest. Exactly. Side C is the hypotenuse of this triangle. 5 is a longer length than 3 and a longer length than 4. So what are my two legs of this triangle? A and B. Bless you. Sides A and B, those are my legs. All right? Pretty straightforward so far, right? Give me a thumbs up if you're following. Very nice. Most of us. That's good. Triangle ABC is a right triangle. This is the type of triangle that we're going to be dealing with here, specifically right triangles. Just by looking at this, what about this triangle tells us this is a right triangle? It's what? Okay. Yeah, Vincent, you remember? It has a right angle. This little box here in the corner tells us that angle C, right, the midpoint of my two legs, angle C is a 90-degree angle, indicated by the little square in the corner. Right there. So when you see that little square, that tells us there is the right angle of this right triangle. Now, something interesting that we need to know about right triangles is that the right angle, this little box here, the right angle of a right triangle is always, what color am I using? Pink? Is always across from, I know that space is not very large, I had to make it fit, is across from the hypotenuse. So this little square here, we could think of like an arrow pointing to my hypotenuse. Everybody see that? How that little right triangle square is like the pointy part of an arrow directing us right over to our hypotenuse. So if, for example, we don't know what the lengths of these sides are, if we don't know that side C is equal to 5 units, we could just look, where's the right angle? Boom, it's pointing at my longest side, the hypotenuse. All right? Again, if we're looking at this triangle, my hypotenuse is 5. My right angle is pointing right to it. Buzzy. The right angle always opens up to both ends of the hypotenuse. Let's go back to the side lengths for a second, because I forgot to mention this. Like we said, the hypotenuse can't be longer than the combined length of both legs. What does that mean? Well, my legs are 3 and 4. Individually, both of those legs is smaller than the hypotenuse, which is 5. But together, when we add 3 plus 4, that distance has to be greater than the length of my hypotenuse, 5. What would 3 plus 4 give me? 7. Is 7 greater than 5? Yeah. Yes. So this does make a triangle. What I was mentioning on the worksheet, right, was that it wouldn't make sense if we had a triangle, if one side is 6, one side is 7, and the other side is 85. Yes, the hypotenuse here is my longest side, so that checks out. But what's the combined length of both legs? What would happen if we added 6 and 7 together? 13. Is 13 greater than 85? No, it's way, way, way less. So this triangle is impossible to construct. Both of my legs individually have to be smaller than my hypotenuse, but combined together to be greater than the hypotenuse. So that's kind of a confusing idea. That's why we're just breaking it down today. So we're ready for tomorrow. The largest angle of a triangle, of a right triangle, is always the 90-degree angle, because all three of these angles, let me do them in all three different colors. Angle B, angle A, and this right angle, angle C. If we add these three angles together, we get 180. Every single triangle, doesn't matter if it's a right triangle or not, those interior angles add up to equal 180. Right? Thanks for coming. See you later. In a right triangle, the right angle is always the largest angle. Therefore, it always opens up to the longest side. Now, this is an idea we're going to go deeper into a little bit later in the school year. What we need to know right now, though, is that you can go ahead and highlight this box real quick. The uppercase letter of each angle opens up to the side with that same letter, just lowercase. Okay, let me show you what I mean. If I have a triangle here, and this is triangle X, Y, Z. Okay, and there's my little right angle. This angle here, angle X, opens up to the lowercase side of X. So this side here is X. This angle up here on the top, angle Y, opens up to and is directly across from the side lowercase y. And this last angle, angle Z, is directly across from the side lowercase z. I know that's a very kind of confusing looking image, but does that kind of make sense? Do you see what I'm saying with that? No? Yeah? Okay. Just like up here. Here's angle B. We look directly across from that angle, and we have side length B, but lowercase. My right angle, angle C, opens up to, and is directly across from lowercase side C, all the way up here, angle A. If we look directly across from that, we get my lowercase side length A. All right? So we're not going to have a worksheet on this. I just wanted to go over some triangle facts to prepare us for our new lesson tomorrow, since we don't have a whole lot of time. Is there any questions I can answer about any of this?
No.
Okay.